Here we go. I want to go to this star here.
The rise of a black woman. Any black man that has an issue with a black woman rising, then they have to look at their own inadequacy. What would make you so fearful of someone who was so beloved of you, who was so beloving to you, like your mother and your grandmother and your aunts and your sisters, that you cannot be proud and embolden yourself when you see someone from your community rise up? And I say to those black men who have an issue politically, you have every right to say, what have you done for me? And I'll give you the laundry list. The community banking system and legislation from the 90s, the $2 billion that the Biden-Harris administration just gave to black farmers, the empowerment zones.
They didn't give that to black farmers. That's a settlement. You tap dancer. That wasn't a gift. That is from decades of discrimination by the federal government. And it should be a lot more than $2 billion. How dare you? How dare you, Wendell Pierce? Open your mouth to say we should be grateful that black farmers get some type of recompense and settlement for being shut out by the U.S. government. The USDA purposely omitted black farmers, gave them less collateral, gave them less support, overlooked them, while funding and supporting white farmers for decades. This is a lawsuit, Wendell Pierce. This isn't a handout. This isn't a hookup. See, the problem that we have is we have celebrities like Wendell Pierce who cherry pick, who are on the side of the elites because they are the elites. Wendell Pierce, you ain't missed a meal in 40 years. You ain't missed a meal in 30 years at least. Why can't you just act on the wire, bro? Why you got to come out and act like you have an inkling of understanding of what's going on? Those black farmers should not have had to have a lawsuit, Wendell. They don't need a settlement. They needed their government to treat them with respect and treat them like human beings and citizens of this country. That's what we needed them to do. That would be far better than a settlement 2-3 decades later, Wendell Pierce. And how dare you? I mean, how dare you stand in front of black people and tell us, hold on, brother to brother, Wendell, how dare you sit up here, bro, and tell black men that we are deficient, that we are maladjusted if we do not endorse, support, or vote for a black woman for the highest office in the land, if we have no belief system based on that person, based on their actions, that they have our best interest. I sat and watched Kamala Harris give her speech when she wrote out her economic plan, and I heard a lot of words come out of Kamala Harris's mouth. A lot of word salad, a lot of words, and some lofty words as well. But you know what word I did not hear out of Wendell that you have no problem saying here in this clip? Black. She didn't utter the word black out of her mouth not one time, Wendell. But you think that you coming up here shaming black men, you ungrateful, pudgy bastard. We supported you, bunk. Black men watch you. Black women weren't watching The Wire like black men did. We put you on the map, man. And you repay us by telling us we don't love our women? Nah, you got it wrong. You got it twisted, bro. It's the opposite. See, I love my black woman so much because I'm raising black women. You understand what I'm saying? Those are my children, okay? And I want to make sure that they get policies that make their lives better. That's symbolism, Wendell. See, when you are doing well in Hollywood and you are insulated from poverty, the crime, the hopelessness, okay? When you are insulated from that, maybe you forget that the rest of us are not living like you, sir. We cannot just rely on symbols and say, you can do it, baby. You can do it. We need things to actually be better in the real world, in reality, that you can touch and feel. Not figuratively, not metaphorically. It's great that you can act. It's great that you can do Shakespearean actor. It's great that you can enunciate and project your voice. But you know what? It is not great when you use those gifts, when you use that ability to dump on black men, to dump on us, to shame us. You should be telling us how electing her is going to benefit us, instead of telling us how we are somehow failing her. And for you to suggest, for you to state that we got a problem? Nah, dog, if I don't buy from your stores because you don't got nothing in that store that meets my criteria. Black people should have the same ability to be just as discerning. You should have to sell to us like you have to sell to anybody else. Your sales pitch should not be, pick me or else. Pick me or you ain't nothing. Pick me or you hate your mother. Pick me or you ain't a man. Folks, this is I'm gonna bring it down a notch. You know what I'm saying? Because this is only video number 1. I'm sorry, video number 2. We're just getting started, you know what I'm saying? We're just getting started. I can't start on 10. If I start on 10, where's there to go, Tim Black? Wendell Pierce, you're not converting anyone. How about that? How about we put it this way? Wendell Pierce, this speech you gave, this thing you doing with a smiling Joy Reid, you will convert no one. No one. You're not helping Kamala by doing this. You're hurting her. Because when black men feel slighted, a weird thing happens. We don't do what you want us to do. Let's take it a little bit further. Ladies and gentlemen, Spike Lee.
At the Democratic convention, what does it mean for you to be here to see Vice President Harris as the Democratic nominee?
I wanted to be here. This is not history. This is her story. She's going to be the first woman to be president of this United States of America.
Why? Spike Lee, why should she be? Why? Spike, why should she be? Why? It's a simple question. I would ask Wendell, but I'm asking you, why should she be? What is it about Kamala Harris that makes her the person we should vote for? If she was a white woman, would you be saying this? If Kamala Harris was a white woman, whatever you're about to say, would you still be saying it?
Blended family, the whole Howard University, HU, so this is a amazing moment in the history of these United States of America. And we got to go forward, not backwards. We got to go forward. We got to advance. We can bring equity around this nation where we will lead the world. So
you just pulling shit out your ass. You don't know what you're talking about, Spike. You got some talking points. Someone gave you talking points, and you're using them right now. Stop remembering what they told you. Stop remembering what you heard some goofball say on CNN or MSNBC, and speak from your heart about why this is the one. This is the person. of all the great women who have stood up and got their asses kicked fighting for justice beside black men throughout the history in this country of black Americans, why is it Kamala? Let's see if he gives us an answer. If he gives us an answer, I'll respect it. If he gives us an actual, tangible answer from here, somewhere here, instead of something he memorized. Let's go, Spike.
You know, I travel a lot of times outside the United States, and when this guy was president, people, total strangers, would pull me and say, "What the hell is going on?"
Donald Trump.
Yes. I try not to say his name, but people.
You know why they said that, Spike Lee? You know why they said that, Spike? Spike, they said it, Spike, because MSNBC, CNN, CBS, ABC, every news organization, every liberal corporate media news organization was putting out constant negative fodder about Trump. That's why. On paper, for policy, he was pretty much just a regular Republican. Nothing earth-shattering. But when you have a media that's constantly bombarding the media's landscape, constantly bombarding the airwaves, constantly bombarding radio, print, all forms of communication with negative publicity for 8 years, since 2015, about one guy. Yeah. They're wondering what the hell is going on, Spike. You should be smart enough to deduce that. Media will make you believe whatever it wants you to believe. But if you look at his policies, I'm not saying I was excited about them, but pretty much they weren't crazy. They were just kind of run-of-the-mill policies. Run-of-the-mill policies for a Republican or for a Democrat, really. I mean, come on, guys. Clinton's policies were shit. I know he was your buddy, and you liked him because he could play the sax. You were one of the choir. You were one of the choir for Clinton. Let's see if Spike says something, because, unlike Wendell Pierce, was that a complete tool for the Democrats, I thought maybe Spike would say something of importance. Something redeemable.
Total strangers on planes just walking around all over the world saying, "What is wrong with America? How did that guy get elected?" So those 4 years were, the world was looking at us like with the side eye, like, WTF. And we know what that means.
You know what's funny, guys, is that America is in this position right now where everybody says America needs repair. We need to do this, we need to do that. The Democratic Party in the last 16 years, the Democratic Party have had the White House for 12 of those years. For 12 years out of the last 16 years. That's 2004, 2006, 2008. Since 2008, Obama. Since 2008, say for 4 years, it's been run by Democrats in the White House. Why isn't America much better off? You mean to tell me that 12 years, 4 years of Trump destroyed 12 years of prosperity with the Democrats? Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're selling us? But see, Spike, you don't know anything about this. You haven't even done that simple equation. That's a very basic equation. And I'm asking you very common sense, like basic stuff. Bro, if the Democratic Party's done so much for Black America, what should be your primary focus? Because Spike, ain't a lot of white folks rushing out to see she's got to have it. Okay? Or the Bloods. Okay? It would make sense for you not to dump on Black folks, because this ain't 2008. Black people are waking up in mass. to the BS of the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. You are alienating people that potentially would go see your films. But what I'm posing to you is a basic question, man. It's a basic premise, bro. The last 16 years, it has been Democrats in office except for 4 years. It's a Democrat in office right now. What did Trump do to destroy America in 4 years that could not have been repaired or mitigated by the other 12 years of Democrat? See, I see it this way. This is how I see it. Ain't a whole lot of difference between Democrats and Republicans. It's a whole lot of difference in the narratives. It's a whole lot of difference in the propaganda. It's a whole lot of difference when you talking heads, you and Wendell Pierce and the rest of y'all coming out having something to say. But based on policy and what gets really done, the tax breaks, the investments, the funding of wars, the sending money out to other countries, that's pretty much a bipartisan or a nonpartisan effort. Both parties take part of all of that. The only thing different is the way that the New York Times writes about it or the Washington Post writes about it, the way NPR just explains it, the way MSNBC tables it, the round tables that CNN conducts. Ain't a whole lot of difference on the meat. Y'all still make the sausage pretty much the same way. They don't live in the real world with regular people. They don't need their politics to work for them. They don't need the Democratic Party to do anything for them. To them, it's like just choosing what to watch, to stream. It's no big deal. They just rather see Kamala streamed than Trump. That's it. That's all. It's really no difference to them. They're going to live in the same house they were going to live in, regardless of who gets elected. They're not worried about, are the schools going to be better? They're not worried about, wow, black people don't own anything. Wow, we're sending all this money to Israel, all this money to Ukraine. They're not worried about that. What about money to my town? What about what's going on in my community? See, that's the last thing these guys are worried about. So they get to be cavalier and don't give a damn and talk about all other types of stuff and be worried about where they're going to party at, what shoes to wear to the next event, who going to be buying liquor, where the tailgate party at. Like, they're worried about things that they're not concerned with. See, some people need politics to work in the right way for them, and some people are insulated by money. The last thing you want to do is listen to people that are insulated by money tell you what you need to focus on, because their focus does not align with yours at all. They are good, okay?